one of Mother. So time begins on power on, so you can just gonna count down right now. Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Okay, so first I'm setting up a manipulation to get consistent stats for a grind later in the run. So hopefully I get it. I've been getting it kind of consistently, but if I miss it, then I might have to do some backups later. So yeah, basically, through this run, I'm just going to use a ton of manipulation and a glitch to completely break the game. So let's see if I can get this.
The manipulation in this game is a bit tricky because it's like RNG is determined by the frame pretty much. So a lot of this is going to be really specific, and later on we're going to see a lot of certain menu buffers in a sense to keep things consistent.
Right, I think I got it. Right, nice, now I just gotta get this stall minute. Got it. Alright, so now I'm basically set for the rest of the run. So, yeah, I'm gonna get a specific amount of stats after this, which is gonna make sure something bad doesn't happen later, because if my stats are even off by a little, then I can lose the fights later on that are supposed to be manipulated.
Glad to see that.
I'm just gonna hold A through all of this so I can get the stats, and I can also extend this manip to get no encounters to the next encounter zones.
Glad to see that you got the smash and the correct stats from the doll fight there. The reason why that would be a really big issue is that if your stats don't increase properly here, there's a grind coming up in the middle of this run where whatever you got before is going to determine what you're going to get from that point on. And if your stats are off, it's going to mess up like all the manipulation, and that's just no good.
Alright, so I made it through without getting any encounters, so that's pretty good. Now I just need to go to the department store, buy some bread, then save the game so I can do the next manipulation strat and set up for the next glitch that I'm gonna do.
So in this game, since I said a lot of the RNG is by the frame, anytime NPCs are on the screen, they affect it a lot, except for some reason the clerk on the very first floor of the department store. So Zikubi will save here and then reset for that, and then gonna take a very specific path down past all the NPCs just to make sure the luck doesn't get too out of hand.
This part's kind of hard with the movement. I might mess it up a few times. I have to move a very specific path or else the NPCs won't move how I want them to. And I made it through this fine, so that's good. So I'm going to be opening the menu on certain tiles, and I'm going to hold B after I open them to close them automatically at a consistent time, which will always put me on the same RNG seed.
Yeah, luckily you can just easily hold B and it'll close the menu for you consistently. And watching the NPCs move, if they move the same ways, that's how you know you got that right and whatnot. Lastly, this game is really funny in general since the menus shuffle the RNG around. Whenever you open them, you can theoretically prevent fights for like forever as long as you open them correctly.
Oh dear. I'm gonna try to do the thing out of here. Probably the best decision right now. I can run from this. So yeah, I made a misstep before rendering the underground part, so the minute ended up being off. Okay, this is kind of annoying. Okay, I just can't run right now.
This is a bit rough. Bats aren't generally scary, but when there's a lot of them, they just take a lot of turns doing nothing at all.
So I'm gonna answer no to the first question, and it gives me the Franklin badge immediately. I'm gonna use that Franklin badge for the grind later in the run, because I can do some sort of exploit, where I can make a bunch of enemies basically kill themselves by reflecting PK beam gamma. Use it right away. Okay, yeah, use it. Oh yeah, I forgot I don't have enough.
It's honestly going to be pretty funny the way it'll work when we see it.
I'm just gonna be mashing A and B for quite a while here.
So yeah, when I said you could open the menu and theoretically prevent any fight, generally that would be like if you knew the luck was going to give you one, but technically if you really wanted to, you can just do it on like every possible tile, and it actually just stops every fight for whatever reason. It's just kind of dumb, but maybe that'll help you out if you're struggling with this game.
The ASMR is almost over. I'm just gonna walk through here because it's a different encounter zone. These enemies are a lot less likely to just kill me. Alright, so now I'm just gonna return PP to the town hall where I'll get $100. I'm gonna use that $100 to buy 3 more bread to set up more parts of the manipulation.
It's honestly crazy how this run works. Like, looking at it, you wouldn't think this would look like something that's possible. Like, for quite a few years, there was only one run of this that was ever completed by a Japanese runner, and I legitimately thought it was like task because it just looks so ridiculous. But luckily, within like the past 2 years, we figured out how all the tricks work and whatnot. So.
Also, a cool thing about this game is that the shopkeepers can basically just move while you're like trying to talk to them. Kind of funny.
One of my favorite things about the game, honestly.
Alright, so I'm gonna continue to do the walk thing through the next encounter zone just in case I don't get a crow that tries to steal my bread. Because if I lose my bread, it's basically need to reset because it's really bad. Okay, now here's the glitch. So I'm gonna get the crumbs back from PP, and I'm gonna use them, and it's gonna send me to the gray dimension.
In all other versions of the game, this was fixed, because for whatever reason, what's happening here exactly is that when you use the crumbs, they mark whatever spot you're at on the map, but the issue is that Pippi was in the party and she had used them, but then she wasn't in the party anymore, and the game didn't change the fact that you got them back. Like, it didn't reset the location, so it was like, okay, we got these crumbs, but who placed them? We don't know, since nobody was in the party who had them. And so it's like, it sends you to the default coordinates on the map, which is like 0, 0, or whatever, wherever this area is. It's pretty weird.
So now I'll just be walking for about 2 minutes until I hit a certain spot. Then I'll be able to use some bread again, and I can use the crumbs to redraw the map so that I can get to the end of the game basically and unlock the final boss. But at the same time, it's also setting up for the most important manipulation, where I'll be grinding to a certain level.
While the gray void out here looks kind of eerie, honestly, it's actually quite neat how it works, because like the longer it takes you to reach this location, the structures out here will change a bit. And apparently, depending on what name you give the characters, the grass out here also changes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It like creates more obstacles depending on what you name your characters, which is kind of weird.
Placing bread anywhere out of bounds and then using it again will pick you back inbound somewhere, depending on where you put it. And I really enjoy how this game progresses there, like how it keeps track of that. For whatever reason, like that scene with Queen Mary, if you played the game, that comes at the very, very end, it's just kind of out there, and you can walk up to her and trigger it.
Alright, so here's where the grind starts. I menued the bread there at a certain speed so that I can get this encounter, because if I do it too fast then I won't get it. Because since the RNG is advancing on the frame, then if I have a menu open for longer, then it advances the RNG faster than if I was just walking around. So that's one of the major ways I can optimize its run.
And honestly, I really like the strategy here behind making sure you get consistent frames. You're holding both A and B together so that the menu keeps like backing out until you do that enough times, and then you let go of B and just hold A, and it will like automatically choose the fight for you. So you get it consistent every time, and it's just really cool.
So also to make things consistent, I have to hold A through this entire thing. Since I'm leveling up like a bunch of times, I need to hold, or else I probably won't get a consistent fight after this.
Yeah, your stat increasers are also by the frame, so when you hold A, gives you the same results through these. Though there are going to be a few where you kind of have to mash A through some of them. It's a little weird there in that regard.
Also, the grinds also give me some pretty good stats. Like, it gives me good enough speed to outspeed Geek with just one quick up usually. Usually I would need to have like 2, but with this I don't need that. And I'm getting a second encounter. This one, I have to hold A and B 1 time, then 8 times. So yeah, they're just all using PK beam and gamma, and it's reflecting with the Franklin badge, and it's a pretty easy way to just get a ton of XP really fast.
I still think everything about this looks funny because it's just a bunch of Starmen. Like, look, it's that kid, fire, and then they all just like kill themselves.
Exactly.
But it's great though because these enemies in particular, they do give the most experience out of any group of enemies you can encounter in the game, especially when there's 4 of them. So it's just absolutely perfect how everything works so well.
So there's some parts of this where I actually have to mash, like right here after the PP up, I have to mash, and then after the fist down here. Usually I'd use bread after that fight, but I got an extra Sai, so I feel like the RNG might have advanced by too much, so that's kind of risky. Alright, so this one is the longest, it's 4 turns. I'll do 2, 7, then 2, 5.
I'm hoping the 1-star man doesn't end up smashing you. For some reason, one of these groups could potentially just kill you even if you're doing this manipulation all right, I think.
Yeah, the one after this, on the first turn, I can either get smashed and die, or it'll work, and it's pretty random. So yeah, for this one I just hold A, then on the fist out on the second level I start mashing again. Oh my god. Okay, that's unlucky.
Oh wow, dang.
So yeah, now I have to restart and do that all over again.
If it ends up happening again, would there be a chance you could try to back it up? Wait, you didn't drop any bread. Never mind. I was gonna say the idea behind leaving bread behind and then repeating the first fight. Because if you really wanted to, you can loop the first manipulation over, since that one doesn't really rely on your stats to get the same pattern.
Yeah,
But
so
even so, that is really lame to see.
yeah, it's basically the reason why I made the estimate so high for this. I really doubt it happens twice in a row, but yeah.
Sadly, despite being a really cool category where like pretty much everything here is manipulated, there are still a few elements of luck involved, including that fight there, as well as at the end you need certain psi and good HP rolls to make sure that you can survive the last fight. One of the other really handy things about this manipulation that I like is that at the end of the first fight, the manip also drops a psi stone for you, which is great because you're gonna need that to restore your psi, and it helps save you time on restoring it otherwise through going to a hotel or something like that.
There's a chance that it can just break immediately and you won't have enough psi for the fight, but that rarely ever happens.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. It's kind of dumb. Using psi stones have like a 1 in 8 chance of breaking on any use, which for other categories either means that they are entirely unreliable or they are big game changers and just help you the whole way through.
Right, so using a bread there actually saved a lot of time over just walking. Because last time I was walking for quite a while, but that time was a lot faster. So if I do end up dying to this fourth fight again, then I can just use the bread that I dropped, and it's not really a big deal.
Still, attempting to use that bread at all can be really risky, as it could potentially throw off the RNG at all for the rest of the fights.
Okay, good. So yeah, after the grind's over, I have to see how much HP I have and which psi I've learned, because those two things are very important for the final fight. Right, so I'm gonna wait after the first level up, because if I go too fast, then it'll take a long time to get an encounter. Okay, I have really good HP, I have psi shield, but not quick up.
Wait, you said you are missing quick up?
Yeah, I'm missing quick up, I have psi shield though. So I'm gonna just go grind on some enemies for quick up. I don't think I need to do the save straps, so I'll just get 6 medicine instead of 7.
So part of the reason as to why your psi can be random is due to the fact that you only learn psi with like a 1 in 4 chance after any battle once you reach the proper level for it, which is a really weird system of doing it. Honestly, I don't know any other RPG that does something like that. But also the fact that you jump through so many levels at once, it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna learn the psi in the correct order that they're supposed to be learned in, which is kind of dumb. So like, if you learn a psi on level 3 and 4 and you jump to 5, then you have a chance of learning either of those. So yeah, that's basically the idea here. And so sometimes you can just be missing the two that you need.
This is really unfortunate. I got 2 encounters, but didn't get it from those. So I'm just gonna keep just farming on these encounters and hope that I get the thing that I need. Okay, got it, nice. So now I'm gonna withdraw 2,000 and get 6 medicine with it.
Luckily, another thing that helps this run work is the fact that in every department store you can buy like the most broken health item. The medicines here don't just restore a certain amount. I think they restore like, well, actually no, my bad. I thought they had like a formula that was like this much, but I realized it's exactly like 999, which you probably should never have that much health. But yeah, and just in case you have like a little wound or a big wound, you can heal everything.
So I'm gonna save the game, but I'm not gonna reset because the fight can't really be manipulated that much. At least it's not that important to manipulate it, so I'm just gonna go straight into it. Okay, I did not mean to do that.
So everybody who's played and loves Earthbound would know this dude as Gigas, but in Japanese, his name is just Gig, and is the exact same character as in that game, just in a bit of a different form, more pure form, I'd like to say.
I'm just gonna continue this, I guess. I'm just gonna life up once here and see what happens. Okay, actually, that's way too unsafe. I'm just gonna reset.
Sadly, whether or not you go first really makes a big impact, and can't really guarantee it. So yeah, it's again, a lot of stuff is manipulated in this run, but you can't guarantee everything. Sadly.
Yeah, since RNG is bouncing on the frame, trying to get the right outcome when I'm going through the menu all the time is really hard.
I swear there was a point where I thought I had a bit of consistency with letting myself go first from a reset, but it is still really finicky. But honestly, as lame as that is, also resetting to go first is still probably the smartest decision just to finish a run in general. And again, while this health looks like it's probably low, like relatively, this is still considered a good amount of health to have, so it's just crazy how dangerous this can be.
Dude. Why? Okay, if he just outspeeds me this time, I'm just gonna roll with it. I guess I can still get through the fight, but I need to do 2 things per every medicine, which is kind of scary if he gets if he does high rolls. Oh my god, dude.
Game, please. Honestly, though, that one didn't seem like it was too bad at least.
I'm just gonna do 4 life hips, then medicine again, then start singing. I can maybe get 1 sing off of this. I don't know. Probably not. Okay, so now I have to sing 11 times to beat him. And during this, he's gonna be hitting me, and I have to make sure or hope that he doesn't hit me for like above 40, because that can be really dangerous. It's not too common for him to hit really high, but yeah. Okay, nice. He's starting to hit low right now. He's hitting for stuff like 34, so that's pretty lucky.
Hoping for some more good luck on these rolls.
So even if my health is kind of low, I just have to go for it because I use the 6 medicine at the start.
That was like the most generous 32 I've ever seen. Wow.
Alright, if he hits for above 40, then this particular one might be death.
This is pretty scary now.
Okay, good.
Wow. Oh my god. That's
Okay, so this is the last one. I just need to get 3 more things. Okay, good. 35 is extremely good. So I can do the last thing, the 11th thing, after, when I'm low on health, since I'll just kill him on the last thing. I won't be able to attack. So this is looking pretty good. Alright, nice, I won. Or at least I think it, and I'm pretty sure he can't hit for that much. The highest I've seen him hit for is 46.
It would have to go disastrously unlucky to be able to die now. But yeah, the luck was all over the place in this run. Oh, amazing. Glad to see you through that.
I'm just glad I made it, even though I didn't even get 7 medicine and I had to use one at the start. So yeah, that was pretty risky, but it worked out. The only reason I went for that is because I had good HP. Like 118 and above is really good.
So a few other things to note are that, for one, this category uses, well, I think we already saw that at the start, but it uses JRTA timing, so power on to the last input, so the timing is going to end after the credits. And then the other thing I kind of meant to go over was the story that we don't really get to see any of. Essentially, Vincent here was tasked to find 8 melodies, which we skipped all of, and then just went straight to Geek. The idea is that you're gonna sing to him and whatnot, and singing to him kind of brings back memories of when he was raised by humans and was given emotions, and basically we just drive him off by making him really emotional. Like, sorry, you gotta go cry on your own home planet.
Right, if donation reading is a thing, then now would probably be the time.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was talking with the mic muted like a champion. We do, in fact, have a donation. We've got $5 from Ishii with no comment. But Ishii has managed to break the tie in Metal Gear Solid Save Kill Meryl, which has actually become a little bit heated. We also have $10 from Anonymous saying, long live the bromance, putting it toward Kill Meryl. So Kill Meryl now in the lead by a $5.
Right, so time ends after the ellipses is printed out, after the to be continued at the end. It happens a little after the text just stops.
We're almost there. Something that's actually funny about this is if you never make any A or B input, this actually won't pop up, which is probably the only reason why the timing ends after this.
And that was Famicom many percent of Mother.
Nice. That was underestimate. Good run. Honestly, all things considered, just finishing a run is a huge accomplishment in general. And anybody who has seen this game but hasn't tried it, I would at least recommend it casually, maybe. But as a run, it's also pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of pushing on estimate with this run because you had the disaster with exit minute and the geek fight and trying to get quick up. Those were all pretty big time losses. But at the very least, I had good enough health. I didn't have to do an extra grind for it.